Welcome back. Welcome again to another class, to class number 186. We're starting a class that is the first of the next 10. We have 10 classes left to finish this level, the basic level. We have completed successfully, in my opinion, the first 185 classes. And we only have 195, so we have 10 classes left. We have 10 classes ahead of us. A little bit of work, very necessary, of course, but I'm satisfied. I'm very happy to see that finally we are approaching the end. We're getting closer and closer to the end. Yes, we're approaching the end. We're getting better every day. We're improving. Contracción de we are. Ok. No tenéis que hacer la contracción si no queréis. Pero los nativos las hacemos siempre. Entonces, yo tengo que educar vuestro oído para reconocer las contracciones. Yes, we're going to finish in 2 weeks. In only 2 weeks. We have been together for about 8.5 months. A long time. I hope you're not too tired of me, because if you want to continue with the intermediate level in the next program, then you will see me again, because I am giving class to the intermediate levels and to the advanced. So maybe we'll be together for a long time, for 3 years. It's a lot of responsibility for me, to be with you and to take you from point A to point B. Me personally, plus 9 collaborators, 9 friends and colleagues. It's a big responsibility. But the biggest responsibility is on your shoulders. The biggest responsibility is on your shoulders, because you have to make the effort. We can't make the effort for you. We make our own effort to teach as well as possible. But the final effort and the decisive esfuerzo, the decisive effort is yours, not ours. And in that effort, you're alone. Yes. Solo os podemos llevar hasta la mitad del puente. El resto tenéis que transitar solitos, vosotros. Lo siento, pero es así. Todo en la vida también. Not only English, but everything. Okay, class number 186. But we will begin on camera 1 with a brief review, a short review of class 185, please. All right. The past tense of understand is understood. It's very easy. When I came to Spain, I understood some people. I understood some people well, but I didn't understand other people well. Everybody speaks differently. Some people speak clearly. Other people speak less clearly. Some people speak with very simple vocabulary. Other people speak with less simple, more complicated vocabulary. Some people speak with a clear accent. Other people don't have a clear accent. So, I understood some people, but I didn't understand other people. And if you go to Chicago now, or to Los Angeles, or to New York, or to Boston, or to Glasgow, you will understand some people, and you won't understand other people. That's normal. But if you stay long enough, you will understand everybody. Everybody. Okay. Now, I hope you understood everything I said yesterday during the class. I hope you understood everything I said last week. I hope you understood the concepts that I taught last week. I hope you understood them perfectly, because if you didn't understand them, you need to look at this book, the student's manual that you have, the most important book. You need to look at the student manual to understand the theory, teoría, to understand the theory, to understand the conceptual questions. Because if you don't understand the grammatical concept, it's more difficult to assimilate the active usage of that concept. All right? I understood everything yesterday. I didn't understand anything. I understood, I didn't understand. Okay, the concept here is when you say didn't in the negative, all right, then the verb is in the infinitive form, understand. I didn't understand. Did you understand? But in the affirmative, in the past tense, I understood. All right? It's quite similar in Spanish sometimes. It's quite similar in Spanish, especially, for example, a good example of I understood, I didn't understand, como cambia understand based on understood, is similar in Spanish in the imperatives. In the imperatives, ven, por favor, no vengas. Okay, it changes completely. In the affirmative, you say ven. Ven, por favor, vente, ven. But in the negative, no vengas. You don't say no ven. Okay? So you change it radically. And we do the same thing in English, but not in the imperatives. The imperatives in English are very easy. Come, don't come. But the past tense, yes, it's quite similar, the concept here. I understood, I didn't understand. I went, I didn't go. I saw, I didn't see. I drove, I didn't drive. All right? I looked, I didn't look. All right, these things. Okay. Also yesterday, we spent a few moments talking about the expression everywhere. En todas partes. Everywhere. O sé donde sea. Everywhere. Esté donde esté. Everywhere I go, vaya donde vaya. Everywhere I go, I see people who speak Spanish. Well, of course, I'm living in Spain. Everywhere I go, I smell olive oil. I have a very high sensitivity to smell. And everywhere I go in the center of Madrid or Barcelona, I smell olive oil cooking in the bars and the houses. Everywhere I go. All right, everywhere I go. Everywhere I go in the States, I see McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's. Everywhere I go, I see fast food restaurants. Okay. Time for me to say goodbye for the moment, but I'll be right back.
Hello everyone, my name is Layla. Today we have a review class. The first part is going to be the verb understand in the past, and the second part is going to be practicing everywhere, por todas partes. And to do all this, Esther is here with me. Esther, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you, Layla. How are you?
I'm doing well as well. Are you ready to practice?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. That's what I want to hear. At home, are you ready to start practicing? Yes? Then let's begin. Okay,
Yes.
So the verb understand. Every day I understand, and in the past?
I understood.
Good. Okay, so remember it's irregular. Every day I understand. Yesterday I?
Understood.
Good. Okay, understood. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer all of them in the affirmative. Okay, because this way we hear the verb in the past. All right, so at home, remember to always say it out loud. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Did you understand the last class?
Yes, I understood the last class.
Okay, so good. What did she understand the last class? Yes, she understood the last class. Okay. Did you understand the vocabulary in the novel?
Yes, I understood the vocabulary in the novel.
Okay, you understood
The vocabulary.
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 Where?
In the novel.
Good. Okay, so one more time.
Yes, I understood the vocabulary in the novel.
Good. Okay. She understood the vocabulary in the novel. Okay, well to remember because it has the V and then the B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you understand the saying? Do you know what saying means?
Un dicho.
Exactly, okay. Did you understand the saying on the second page?
Yes, I understood the saying on the second page.
Exactly, okay. So, yes, she understood the saying. Remember, the saying, el dicho, o un dicho, the saying, where?
On the second page.
Okay, good. So remember, if it's a page, we always use preposition on. Okay, great. Did you understand what I said 2 seconds ago?
Yes, I understood what you said 2 seconds ago.
Okay, good. So the answer, yes. She understood what I said how long ago?
2 seconds ago.
Good, okay. Did you understand what your neighbor said when you talked to him?
Yes, I understood what my neighbor said. What my neighbor said
When you talked to him.
when I talked to him.
Okay, so talk in the past?
When I talked to him.
Very good, okay, because it has the T sound, the hard T sound. Okay, so yes, she understood her neighbor when she talked to him. Okay, well done. Now it's time to practice everywhere, por todas partes. Okay, so here I'll ask you some questions and then I'll have you translate. Okay, so
Okay.
at home, remember to always practice with us. All right, are there any tourists in Madrid in August?
Yes, there are many tourists in Madrid in August.
Many?
Tourists.
Oh, tourists.
Tourists
Okay.
in
with-
Madrid in August.
Good, okay, so the STS. Okay, so here we go with the everywhere. Okay, so translate this one for me, okay? En verano hay turistas por todas partes.
In summer, there are tourists everywhere.
Exactly. Okay, so we can say in summer there are tourists everywhere, or we can change it around and we can say there are tourists everywhere in summer. Okay, now we can say in summer and in the summer. They're both correct. Okay, so it's a matter of personal. El que más os guste. Okay? All right. More. Cuando él estuvo en Italia, fue en coche a todas partes.
When he was in Italy, he went to everywhere. He went by car.
Okay, so he went everywhere, or we could say he drove. We can use the verb ir en
Yes.
coche. In English, we can use the verb drive. Okay?
Yes.
So one more time.
When he was in Italy, he drove to everywhere.
He drove everywhere.
He drove everywhere.
Exactly. Okay, so we don't have to use the preposition after drive.
Yes.
Okay, because it's because of everywhere. Okay, so you go everywhere. It doesn't matter what verb you use, but we never use the preposition before everywhere. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So, did he drive everywhere when he was in Italy? So now you can just answer the question.
He drove.
Did he drive everywhere when he was in Italy?
Yes, he did.
Okay, give me the complete sentence.
Yes, he drove.
Okay, so drive is irregular, right?
He drove.
He drove.
He drove everywhere when he was in Italy.
Good, okay. Cuando visitó Nepal, fue andando a todas partes.
When he visited Nepal, he walked everywhere.
Good, okay. He walked everywhere. Okay, did you walk everywhere when you went to Nepal?
Yes, I walked everywhere.
One more time.
I walked
walked.
everywhere.
It has the hard T sound.
Yes. I walked everywhere when I was in Nepal.
Okay, good. All right, so everywhere, por todas partes. Very well done, Esther. That's all the time we have for today, so I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Okay, welcome back. Second segment for today. We will review we will, contracción will. Contracción de nosotros en el futuro es we will. Wheel suena rueda, ¿no? De un coche, wheel. We'll cover or review 5 verbs. The verb to read, the verb to write, the verb to drive, the verb to cost, and the verb to see. Okay. But we'll cover these verbs or review these verbs. We'll go over these verbs on the other camera. So let's change, please. Okay, very good. When I was 15, probably I read 10 novels, maybe, 10 books when I was 15. When I was 16, I probably read 20 novels. You see, at school, in the United States educational system, in English class, lingua inglesa, it's necessary to read a lot of material, or to read a lot of books every year. 1 book per month, 2 books a month maybe, 1 or 2 books a month. And the academic year is approximately 9 months, so we could read maybe 10, 12, 15 novels or essays during the school year. It's a lot of reading, I remember. And university, even more, even more. So when I was 20, I probably read about 40 books during the year. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little. I imagine when I was 20 years old, I probably read 20 books, maybe even more. Yeah, I read a lot of books. Yeah, read. And when I was 30, probably I read 15. I think in the first 50 years of my life, I read 1,000 books or 500 books. I read a lot of books. Yes. And I'm not a fast reader. I don't know how I did it. But I wrote a book. How many books did I write? Well, in the 1970s, I wrote 3 books. Between 1978 and 1980, boom, in those 2 years, I wrote and registered 3 books for teaching. The translation booklets. In the 80s, I wrote maybe 10 books for teaching. In the 90s, I probably wrote 5 or 6 books for teaching. And, but only once in my life, I wrote a real book for publication through the Corte Inglés, FNAC, and all these things. Only once. And I wrote that book 2 years ago. I wrote it in September 2008. I wrote it practically in 1 month. 256 pages. I wrote 256 pages in 1 month. It wasn't too difficult because I wrote it in some mornings and on Saturday and Sunday. But it was not too difficult for me because it's about teaching English, or it's about learning English. So it's simply a lot of experience. And it wasn't difficult to organize and then to fill in the space. So I wrote the book in maybe 50 hours, okay? Maybe a little more, I can't remember. But I wrote it in 2008. I didn't write it in 2007. I wrote it in 2008. Okay, I read the book 20 times while I was writing it. Read, wrote, drove. Every day I drive here, and yesterday I drove here. I drove here this morning. I drove in the rain and in heavy traffic. There was a lot of traffic when I drove here this morning. Okay? I like to drive. I drove to Barcelona 3 weeks ago. I drove to London. Yes, 10 years ago, I drove from Madrid to London in 2 days. It's not easy, eh? The first day I drove from Madrid to Bordeaux, the important city in the southwest of France, famous for the wine, the Bordeaux wines. Yes, the first day I drove from Madrid to Bordeaux. First I drove to Burgos. I had lunch in Burgos. We had lunch, it was my family. And then we drove from Burgos to Bordeaux. The next day, we drove from Bordeaux to London, crossing on the ferry in Calais, all right, from Calais to Dover. And we drove for a lot of hours. I drove all the way. My wife didn't drive. She didn't help me. I drove the whole time. Yes. And then in London, we met with our parents, with my parents and my sister. And from there, from London, we drove to Chester. Chester is a very nice, a very pretty town, near the border with Wales and very close to Liverpool, all right, and Manchester. Chester, okay. And from Chester, we drove to Wales. We drove to a mining town, Pueblo Minero, in the north of Wales, a very interesting mining town. I can't remember the name. And then from that town, we drove to Plymouth. And in Plymouth, we crossed to Brittany in northern France on a ferry. And from Brittany, we drove to La Rochelle, and we stayed in La Rochelle. And from La Rochelle, we drove to San Sebastian. And then finally, from San Sebastian, we drove to Madrid to finish our trip. We drove. Drive, drove, driven. And finally, during that trip, I saw a lot of areas of England, Wales, and France. I didn't see anything in Scotland because we didn't go to Scotland. But we saw some areas of England. We saw some areas of Wales. And of course, we saw some areas of southern, western, and central France, and northern France in Calais. Yes, it's very nice. France is a very beautiful country. England and Wales are very beautiful. Spain, of course, is always beautiful. Europe is a very beautiful continent. All right. I'll be back in just a few minutes after our station break with our sponsors to continue. All right. During the segment before, I was using the verb to drive. Remember, I've told you this already several times, but I want to remind you that in English, we use the travel verb, el verbo de locomoción, como verbo principal. En español soléis usar el verbo ir, venir, llegar o volver, más un añadido de cómo es el desplazamiento. Fui en coche, fui andando, vine en avión. ¿Ok? En inglés no. Volé aquí, anduve allí, conduje hasta allí. I drove to Barcelona. I walked to work. I drove here. I flew to Munich, etc. So we use the travel verb. Okay, see you in a few minutes.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Kyle, and I'm here today with Esther. Esther, how are you?
Fine, thank you, Kyle. How are you?
Great, great, very good. Today, Esther, we're going to practice with some verbs. We are going to review with some verbs that we have seen over the last few classes. Here we have to read, to write, to drive, right? To drive, to see, to cost. How much does it cost? And to understand. So, random verbs. But I'm going to ask you at home some questions, and I'm going to ask Esther as well. And you can answer my questions mostly in the negative, okay? So we'll practice in the past using these verbs, in the negative, okay? So, Esther, did you read a book written by me last week?
No, I didn't read a book written by you yesterday.
Or well, last week?
Last week.
Okay, so she didn't read a book written by me. Okay. Did you write a novel last year? At home, did you write a novel last year? No, I didn't write a novel last year. Did you write a novel last year?
No, I didn't write a novel last year.
Yeah, very good pronunciation as well. Novel, novel,
Novel.
novel. Okay. Did you drive a Rolls Royce last week?
No, I didn't drive a Rolls Royce last week.
Okay, ask me if I drove a Rolls Royce last week. Kyle, did you drive a Rolls Royce last week? No, I didn't. I wish, but no, I didn't drive a Rolls Royce last week. Did you see 12 movies yesterday?
No, I didn't see 12 movies yesterday.
Did you understand German perfectly when you were 5 years old?
No, I didn't understand German perfectly when I was 5.
Okay, she didn't understand German perfectly. She didn't understand German perfectly. Me neither. Do you understand German now?
Yes, a little.
A little bit? Okay, I don't understand anything in German. Did you read a book in Polish last month?
No, I didn't read a book in Polish last month.
Okay, last month. Did you write me an email yesterday? Did you write me an email yesterday? No, I didn't write you an email. Did you write me an email yesterday?
No, I didn't write you an email yesterday.
Did I write you an email yesterday?
No, you didn't write me an email yesterday.
Okay, did you drive to Germany last week?
No, I didn't drive to Germany last week.
Now, what did you say?
I didn't drive to Germany last week.
Okay, she said that she didn't drive to Germany last week. Did you drive to Germany last week? No, I didn't drive to Germany last week. Okay. Now, did a pencil cost more than €5 last year?
No, a pencil didn't cost more than €5 last year.
Cost. It didn't cost. A pencil didn't cost more than €5 last year. Of course not. That would be too expensive, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see a ghost yesterday?
No, I didn't see a ghost yesterday.
Okay. Did you see a ghost yesterday? A ghost? No, I didn't see a ghost yesterday. Okay. Did you understand, Esther, did you understand rocket science perfectly when you were 10 years old? Rocket science, you know?
The rocket science.
So the science of calculating the trajectories of rockets, you know? Rockets, like to go into outer space.
Yes.
But rocket science is very complicated.
Yes.
Did you understand it perfectly when you were 10?
No, I didn't understand perfectly when I was 10, the rocket science.
I didn't understand rocket science.
Perfectly when I was 10.
Okay. Me neither. Right? Me neither. Okay. Did you read 150 novels last year?
No, I didn't read 150 novels last year.
150?
Novels.
Novels. Okay. Did you read 150 novels last year? No, I didn't read 150 novels last year. Okay. Did you write 25 Christmas cards? Christmas cards last Christmas. Did you write 25 Christmas cards?
No, I didn't write 25 Christmas cards last Christmas.
Yeah. It's funny, even in Spanish sometimes you say un Christmas, right?
Sí.
which is a Christmas card.
It's a Christmas card.
I remember last Christmas, I was in a store and I saw a sign in Madrid. It said, "Hay Christmas de Navidad." And I thought, okay, it's like there's a Christmas of Christmas.
There's a Christmas.
But if you're an English person like me, it sounds a bit strange. But yes, so did you write any Christmas cards last year?
No, I didn't write any Christmas card last year.
Any Christmas
Cards last year.
Even though it's 0, did you write any?
Okay.
No, I didn't write any Christmas cards because the question was plural. So the answer has to be plural as well. I didn't write any Christmas cards last year. Okay. Did a Honda cost more than a Porsche last month?
No, Honda didn't cost more than a Porsche last month.
Yeah, okay. Did you understand English when you were 3?
No, I didn't understand English when I was 3.
Okay. Did you see a UFO last night? You understand UFO?
Yes,
OVNI, right?
OVNI.
UFO. Did you see a UFO last night? No, Kyle. No, I didn't see a UFO last night. Do you know what it stands for?
Yes.
What does it stand for?
UFO. U, unidentified.
Unidentified.
Unidentified. Flying
Flying.
object.
Correct. Unidentified flying object. Notice how I say it stands for. When we have an acronym, we say, what does it stand for? Right? FBI stands for Federal Bureau of Investigation. UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object, right? Did you see me on the street yesterday?
No, I didn't see you on the street yesterday.
Okay. Did you write a letter to Santa Claus last year? No, I didn't write a letter to Santa Claus last year. I did, well, not last year, but when I was young, I always wrote letters to Santa Claus, and it worked. Yeah. Did you drive a tractor yesterday?
No, I didn't drive a tractor yesterday.
Okay. Did you write an autobiography last year?
No, I didn't buy an auto.
Did you write an autobiography?
I didn't write any autography.
And an autobiography, right? The book about yourself.
No, I
So
didn't.
the story of Esther by Esther, your autobiography. You didn't write an autobiography?
No, I didn't.
I didn't
I
write
didn't write any
I didn't write an
autobiography last year.
Okay, me neither. Esther, we're out of time.
Yes,
Great job, thank you.
thank you.
Good job at home. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
You know, I've been living in Spain for 35 years, and I have noticed an interesting phenomenon. Yes, I have noticed an interesting phenomenon. When I walk in the streets of Madrid or Barcelona, Bilbao, Seville, Valencia, there are Spanish people everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah. And there aren't any Nepalese people anywhere. Gente de Nepal no hay ninguno, en ninguna parte. I've noticed this about Spain. Walking in the streets, I notice there are Spanish people everywhere, but there aren't any Nepalese people anywhere. Okay. Everywhere, anywhere. Camera number 1, please. All right. And if you go anywhere in Spain, you can go anywhere in Spain and you will see bars everywhere. You can go anywhere in Spain and you will see good wine everywhere. You can go anywhere in Spain and find good cheese everywhere. You can go anywhere in Spain and find good ham everywhere. You can go anywhere in Spain and find good sausage, embutidos, anywhere, all right, anywhere. But you can't find Royal Crown Cola anywhere. In the United States, there are 3 colas: Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, and Royal Crown Cola. Now, you can find Coca-Cola everywhere. And in some places, you can find Pepsi everywhere, but you can't find Royal Crown anywhere. Nowhere. You can't find it anywhere. All right? You can find McDonald's, the fast food restaurant. In Spain, you can find McDonald's everywhere. But you can't find Wendy's anywhere. In the United States, the #1 fast food chain for hamburgers is McDonald's. The #2, of course, very good, very close, is Burger King. And the third, extremely important, very, very important, is Wendy's. Okay, it's very important in the United States. It's everywhere in the United States. But you come to Spain, and you can see McDonald's everywhere. You can see Burger King everywhere. But you can't see Wendy's anywhere. Not a single restaurant. Yeah, I've noticed that. Now, there's a company in the United States called Tricon Restaurants. Tricon Restaurants. And they have several fast food restaurants. The 3 most important are the three most important restaurants, the chains, cadenas, chains are Pizza Hut, you know Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, you know that, and Taco Bell. Okay, these three restaurants are the most important restaurants in Tricon organization. Now, you come to Spain and you can see Pizza Hut practically everywhere. And you can find Kentucky Fried Chicken practically everywhere. But you can't find Taco Bell anywhere. Why? All right. Okay. Now, another phenomenon I notice in Spain, that I can hear the Spanish language everywhere. If I walk in the streets of Spain, I can hear the Spanish language everywhere. But I can't hear the Moldavan language anywhere. The people from Moldava, in Spanish in Moldavia, the people from, you can't hear the Moldavan language anywhere, all right? Another thing I notice when you come to Spain is you can see pine trees everywhere. Los pinos, altos, pinos de diferentes tipo. You can see, or you can find, pine trees everywhere. But you can't find sequoia trees anywhere. You can see pine trees everywhere in Spain, practically. But you can't see sequoias anywhere, which is not exactly true. I have seen 2 sequoia trees in Spain, okay? On one of the highways going north from Salamanca to Zamora. There's 2 sequoias transplanted from California. But you can't find, except for those 2, you can't find sequoia trees anywhere. And English teachers, you can find mediocre, you can find mediocre English teachers in Spain everywhere. But you can't find excellent English teachers practically anywhere, except here in Bogan, yes. You can find mediocre teachers everywhere, but you can't find excellent teachers anywhere, practically, all right? And here, you can find people who like soccer everywhere. Soccer is fútbol europeo, internacional, soccer. You can find soccer fans everywhere in Spain, but you can't find cricket fans anywhere. You can't find cricket fans anywhere. Cricket is a popular British sport, a bit similar to baseball in the United States. And it's very popular in the United Kingdom, and especially in India, Pakistan, Jamaica, South Africa, Australia. It's very popular in the British Commonwealth. It's very, very popular, cricket. But here, you can't find cricket players anywhere. In Pakistan, you can find cricket players everywhere, but you can't find cricket players anywhere in Spain. That's true. Now, American football. American football is very popular in the States. You can find football players, amateur and professional football players, and football fans everywhere in the United States and Canada. But in Spain, you can't find American football fans anywhere, practically. There are a few strange people who like American football. Personally, I love it. I love that sport, American football. But it's very difficult to explain to you. It's very difficult to understand, all right? It's very interesting. It's la guerra personificada. It's a very good sport. But in any case, and you can find regidores like Maria everywhere? No, you can't find people like Maria anywhere. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah. ¿Qué tal? How are you today? Okay, we're going to begin. Empezamos con vocabulary. Ya, directamente. Now let's say hello to my student, Almudena. Hello.
Hello, Hannah.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you, how are you?
I'm great. Great. As always. Como siempre. As always. Como siempre. Okay, empezando con vocabulario. Give me good pronunciation. Good pronunciation. Ready?
Yes.
How do we say confundido? Confuso.
Confused?
Oh, okay. Try again. Otra vez. Cut. Toma otra vez. Segunda toma. Again.
Confused.
Good. Okay. ¿Con qué letra termina?
De.
D. So,
Confused.
más fuerte.
Confused.
Más fuerte.
Confused.
Okay. Bien. So, stronger. Make sure, aseguraos. Make sure I can hear, que puedo oír la terminación al final. Confused. Confused. Hay una D al final. E-D. Confused. Confused. Repeat.
Confused.
Okay, very good. Confused. Confused. All right, next we have acceso.
Access.
Repeat.
Access.
Good. Repeat.
Access.
Muy bien. Access. 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 No decimos access. C, 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 como si fuera Z, nunca. Access. Esa doble C, access. Y la segunda parte, ses, como si fuera S. Access. Access. Por delante.
On. Ahead.
Okay, good. Muy
Ahead.
bien. Repeat. Ahead.
Ahead.
Good. Repeat. Ahead.
Ahead.
Perfect. Ahead. 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 Ventaja.
Advent. Adventure.
Repeat. Advantage.
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 Mejor. Advantage.
Advantage.
Muy bien. Here we have una V. We have V. Advantage. V. Advantage. Tidge. Advantage. Advantage. Finally, terriblemente.
Awfully.
Repeat. Awfully.
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 Okay, very good. Awfully. Awfully. Now, se puede pronunciar con 3 sílabas. Awfully, awfully. Pero muchas veces comimos, we eat one of those syllables. Entonces se queda en casi solamente 2 sílabas. Awfully, awfully, awfully. Esta U la comimos casi. Repeat, awfully,
Awfully.
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 Mejor, muy bien. ¿Ves? ¿Veis cómo se queda solo en solo 2 sílabas? Awfully, awfully, awfully. Pero también se puede decir con las 3. Okay, muy bien. Now, we're going to look at anywhere. Okay, la palabra anywhere, que significa en ninguna parte o a ninguna parte. Es, digamos, la forma negativa de lo que vimos ya anterior de everywhere. Everywhere era afirmativa, en todas partes, a todas partes. Por todas partes. Pero, digamos, es el negativo, adverbio negativo de everywhere y usamos anywhere en frases negativas. So, for example, are there any tourists in November? Are there any tourists in November?
No, there isn't.
There aren't?
There aren't any tourists anywhere in November.
Good. Muy bien. Okay, repeat after me. Aren't.
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 Eso. Decimos aren't con 2 sílabas. No, nunca. So, 1 syllable. Aren't.
Aren't.
Eso. So, aren't. There aren't. Now, solo tiene una sílaba la pronunciación. Nunca decimos aren't ni aren't como si fueran 2. Nunca. Resiste la tentación. Resist the temptation. Sé que es muy fuerte, pero es una sola sílaba. Aren't. Aplastamos la E. ¿Ok? Aren't. Nunca decimos aren't ni aren't. Nunca. So, are there any tourists in November? ¿Hay turistas en noviembre? No. There aren't any tourists anywhere in November. No hay turistas en ninguna parte en noviembre. Okay. When he was in London, did he drive?
No, when he was in London, he didn't drive anywhere.
Good, muy bien, great. So when he was in London, he didn't drive anywhere. So cuando estaba en Londres, él no condujo a ninguna parte, right? He didn't drive anywhere. He didn't drive anywhere. Is my bag in the office?
No, your bag isn't in the office, anywhere in the office.
Good, repeat again, muy bien.
No, your bag isn't anywhere in the office.
Muy bien. So no, your bag isn't anywhere in the office. Tu bolso no está en ninguna parte de la oficina. When she was in Los Angeles, did she walk everywhere?
No, when she was in Los Angeles, she didn't work anywhere.
Muy bien, very good. So, ¿ves? En la afirmativa o en la pregunta he preguntado usando everywhere, a todas partes, porque es afirmativo. Okay, when she was in Los Angeles, did she walk, caminar? Did she walk everywhere? ¿Caminó por todas partes? En Almudena me dijo, no, no, no. When she was in Los Angeles, she didn't walk anywhere. No caminó en ninguna parte. Y es verdad. Hay un dicho en Los Ángeles, en mi ciudad, nadie camina. No one walks in Los Angeles. Nadie camina ni anda en Los Ángeles, porque todo el mundo está metido en el coche, que es verdad. Ok, traduce, translate. El año pasado no fuimos a ningún sitio.
Last year, we didn't go anywhere.
Perfect, repeat, muy bien.
Last year, we didn't go anywhere.
Muy bien. El año pasado no fuimos a ningún sitio. Last year, we didn't go anywhere. We didn't go anywhere. Remember, en la forma negativa. No fuimos a ningún sitio. Okay. No encuentro las llaves en ninguna parte.
I can't find my keys anywhere.
Good, perfect. I can't find my keys anywhere. Ya todos, yo creo que en un momento ya no encontramos las llaves, el reloj, lo que sea, boli favorito en ningún sitio, en ninguna parte. Dices, oh my gosh, Jolín, I can't find my pen anywhere. I can't find my book anywhere. Así, so practicar, practice this form, and have a great day. See you tomorrow or the next class. Bye-bye.
Okay, we have finished another class, class 186, which means we have only 9 classes left. Este countdown, cuenta atrás, this countdown, it's the final countdown. We are going to learn perfectly el concepto de cosas left, las cosas que quedan. Yes, we have only 9 days left, 9 classes left. It's been fun. I'm enjoying this class. I'm enjoying, still, I enjoy teaching you. I love to teach. But my job is to make you love to learn. And that's not easy. I try my best, but I need your help. So help me with this. Start loving to learn.